listening to the Real Elevation podcast. I'm your host, Mike Hendricks, and here we discuss topics on personal fitness, well-being, and elevation of mind and body. Join us as we help build and grow a community of real, elevated men and women. If you're currently feeling frustrated, flat, and fed up with life, or want to be a physically and mentally elevated individual, you're invited to join us each and every week here on the Real Elevation podcast. Welcome to the RE family and get ready to elevate your mind and body. Welcome to the Real Elevation podcast. I'm your host, Mike Hendricks, and today we have another outstanding, informative, and elevating show for you. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome all first-time listeners to the show, and be sure to stay to the end, where I'll be sharing all my social media links where you can connect with me and the Real Elevation podcast community as we continue to grow and spread the word about what we're doing over here, and that's helping people find freedom through fitness. Hope you're well. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your ears. We've got another super show that you're going to really find inspiring and going to elevate your understanding about yourself as you continue on your well-being journey. Now, if you're over the age of 40, listen keenly to this. If you're frustrated, you feel that your body's not yours, your energy is low, and your health is generally going in the wrong direction, guess what? You are not alone. And today I've got a message for you that could be a real shift, a real turning point as you continue on your journey through life. A lot of us are suffering in silence when it comes to our health, and I speak to many people, many frustrated people that have long-term issues, long-term pain, long-term problems, and just not feeling like themselves. But here's the truth, most people over 40 are they're stuck in this cycle, but it doesn't have to be that way. They don't have to suffer. So if you are feeling that sense of overwhelm, you've been on this cycle of looking for like quick fixes, you're noticing some self-sabotage type habits, it doesn't have to be that way. We're going to talk about what it takes to get some real lasting wellness, and it is much simpler than you think. I've spoken about this before, and unfortunately we live in an age now where everything seems to be overcomplicated, especially in the world of well-being and fitness. In the fitness and health space, things have become so complex. We have so much information at our disposal, it leaves people almost dazzled in the headlights, like a rabbit in the headlights, not sure of what to do. But the truth is, you don't have to continue suffering that way. It is simpler than you think, but you have to take some steps. And that's what we're going to talk about today. You can save your suffering, and that's exactly the title. Save your suffering. 4 simple steps to start succeeding with your health. If you want to see success, you're done with those days of frustration, listen keenly, because these 4 simple steps could really change the direction of your well-being and the remaining years, 40, 30, 20, let's hope it's a little bit longer, but whatever time you have left on this planet, in this 3D concept, navigating life, you want to be doing that in your best, healthiest state, both mentally and physically. And these 4 steps can help you do that. So save your suffering. 4 simple steps to start succeeding with your health. Okay, so let's jump into it. So first step, recognize and take responsibility. The first step is simple, but it's not always easy. Now, basically what I'm going to share with you guys, I'll be completely transparent. This is a 4-step process that I work with my clients on the Real Rejuvenation Program. So what I'm going to step you through now, starting with step 1, recognize and take responsibility, is exactly what we do. It's an overview. But this is the first step. We have to get to a place where we understand it's down to us. We're the ones that need to take responsibility. We need to recognize where we are, and we have to take the first step to take any type of change. True lasting change, true lasting transformation comes from a self of awareness and understanding. So if we don't have that acknowledgement of where we are, we blind out, we can't change. So we need to understand and acknowledge exactly where we are. But also, once we do realize, we need to take responsibility. I see so many men and women over the age of 40 feeling stuck because they're waiting for external permission. They're waiting for someone else to come and save them, whether it's the doctors, the nurses, the NHS, some divine outer being. But ultimately, no one's coming to save you. It's down to you. But that's great news. That's why I'm excited for you. It's down to you. With the right support, with the right advice, with the right understanding about yourself, you can help see those improvements that you want. You can save yourself. You can see success when it comes to your fitness and your well-being. But we need to recognize and take responsibility. So here's some simple action steps that you can begin to do that will help you as you begin to understand about taking responsibility and recognize this. You've often heard me say this before, but it's key. Take a step back, take 10 minutes out and do a body and life audit. What areas of your health are you not happy with? How do I feel in something as simple as the clothes I wear? What is my stress like at the moment? What are my stressors, if you like, whether that's environmental stress, financial stress, relationship stress? What is it that's stressing you out? And how do you generally feel about life moving forward? These are some of the questions that we ask on that Real Rejuvenation program to get people a sense of clarity and understanding of what's really, for want of a better term, irking or irritating them in the areas of their life. And they have to be honest, we have to be true. But again, we're looking to glean clarity. We're looking to get people to understand, because once they have that understanding of where they are, they can then start taking the right kind of action. So take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is, it's the first action step, to have a look at life audit of your body and also your health. And what is it that you see as a priority for you moving forward that you'd like to see change? Everybody's going to be different. But we know once we do this, we can start mapping out a road that's going to take us in the direction of that betterment. So whatever that may be, maybe better health, maybe better relationships, maybe better financial position, it may be less stress in certain areas. And that's all backed up by studies and show that the psychology of self-awareness is a fast foundation of sustained self-behavior and change. So when you are in a mental space where you've said, I'm going to take responsibility, I'm going to take action to empowering myself, you're going to be more likely to sustain the behaviors that's going to help see that change, that transformation come to pass. So in other words, it's not just me saying, do this. You're actually saying, no, I'm going to take charge because I have dominion over my sovereign body. It's down to me. And by saying that, you're more likely to do the things that's required rather than me just telling you to do it. So bear that in mind. First step is recognize and take responsibility. Okay, number 2, eat right for your type, not perfect. Yeah? Eat right for your type and don't worry about being perfect when it comes to your diet. You don't need a strict diet. This is something, again, when I'm speaking to people and people that come to work with myself, they have this myth or this misunderstanding that they have to have a strict diet. Now, there is a time and a place for having, air quotes, strict diet, but I often push back and say it's real food that people need, because real food fuels real results. Fuel and food should be seen as almost like information. You want to be feeding your body with the best information possible. And especially as we get older, we know that after 40, 45, our metabolism can shift. Hormones can change in terms of the way they are produced in the body. So what you did in your early 20s, maybe early 30s, may not be the same that you can do now that you're over 40, 45, going to 50s and older. So we need to be aware of how we're fueling. What information are we giving our body? What is it that we're asking our bodies to do with the food and the fuel that we're giving it? Eating right means prioritizing nutritionally dense food, or in simple terms, whole food, organic whole food, which is as closer to nature as it was intended. So, minimizing refined or eliminating refined and processed foods. Foods that give us nourishment, give us energy, give us support for our hormones. Foods that reduce inflammation in our body. Foods that for many of us are still prevalent and dominant in our lives. And that's why, from my experience working with hundreds and hundreds of people in today's modern day society, businessmen, businesswomen who are busy, short on time, families, people with families, young families, middle-aged children, they don't have time, so they're eating these foods that they've been told to by society, but those foods are at the root of the problems that they're experiencing, inflammation being one of them. So eating right, understanding what's right for you, not on this mindset, well, I've got to eat perfectly 100% of the time. Eating what's right for you, and that means you, not anyone else, what's right for you. So action steps that you can do, simple things like changing the refined foods that you may be having at the moment for whole foods, protein-rich natural foods. Try having less sweetened and sugary or refined sugary foods in your diet. They're two simple things that you can do. I was working with a lady last year who was told to go on medication for her blood pressure. She had high blood pressure. She was hypertensive. Now, whereas I'm not a medical professional, so this is my disclaimer here, I said to her, I'm aware that when you're taking this type of medication, there are some side effects you just need to be aware of. Well, I'm sure you discussed that with your physician or your GP. Now, she didn't take that medication, but over the 3 months that we were working together, she saw a 15% reduction in her blood pressure. When she went back to her physician after 4 months, and he asked her if the medication's been working, she informed him that she'd not been taking it. She'd just made some simple lifestyle changes, modifying her diet, obviously taking up a regular program of exercise, and that had a positive effect on her blood pressure. So you can see you also may be struggling at this moment in time with certain health issues. It's always wise to speak with a physician or a doctor about these things, get professional medical advice. But a lot of the problems that you and I are seeing in society today is down to lifestyle and lifestyle choices. So we can start eating better, making the step to start eating not perfect, but in a more productive way for our bodies. And when we do so, we'll see the benefits of that. So we're talking about today, save your suffering. 4 simple steps to start succeeding with your health. Okay? So step number 3 is be active often. Yeah, so activity on a regular basis, what we're talking about here. Now, when we're talking about exercise or being active, I'm not suggesting that you have to go to the gym 5-6 days a week and hit it hard. We're talking about movement on a regular basis and using movement as your medicine. Think consistency over intensity. We're talking about walking, cycling, doing stretching, lifting, playing, just moving the body often enough to keep it mobile, strong, and minimizing the amount of pain and restriction that many of us are suffering with today. So what does that look like for you? Are you someone that likes to dance? Are you someone that likes to go out for walks with a dog or with a group of friends? Are you someone who likes to do yoga or Pilates or Tai Chi or Qigong type exercises, restorative type exercises? Are you someone that likes to go to the gym? There is no right or wrong. We just need to find the right blend of exercises for us, especially as we get older. We need to incorporate strength exercises, cardiovascular exercises, mobility, stability, core stability exercises in our workout. But what that looks like for Mr. Smith will look completely different for Mrs. Brown. It's finding out what's right for you, but we need to be active often. Can we be doing something most days of the week that's keeping movement at the core of our medicine to help our health elevate on a daily basis. Yeah, movement wants to be your medicine. We've talked about that before. I think we did a podcast on that. I'll see if I can find exactly what episode that was, and I'll leave a link in the show notes. But you want to be using movement as your medicine daily. Yeah, apple a day keeps the doctor away. It should also be movement a day keeps the doctor away. So think about what you can do. 20 minutes can be the maximum time you need to do each day. It could be 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be hour-long workouts hard in the gym every single day. We know from science that regular movement improves circulation, it helps to boost our mood, it strengthens the joints, it regulates the insulin or blood sugar, and especially after we hit the age of 40, 45 going older, this is very important to minimize the chances of developing chronic illnesses and injuries. So movement as your medicine. Be active often. That's step number 3. And step number 4, love yourself. You hear what I said there? Love yourself. So many people I have conversations with, they're just down on themselves. And I'm laughing because it's sad, but it's true. They are so harsh on themselves. But as we talk about in the Real Rejuvenation Program, we've got to start learning to love ourselves. Love is the key to our success. Because when we're in love with ourselves, and I don't mean that in a narcissistic, modern day society kind of way, I'm talking about loving ourselves, that we do the things that someone who loves us would do. So if you think about how you love your partner, your husband, your wife, how you love your dog, how you love your children, you pretty much do anything for those individuals, or those people. And it's the same mindset we need to adopt when it comes to ourselves. We need to learn to love ourselves. Now that sounds a little bit strange, sounds a little bit comfortable, but it's something I've definitely loved to talk to my clients about and get them to embody that. Learning to love themselves and love what they do. Because without that self-compassion, every slip-up becomes a spiral. It becomes difficult. Because I'm not sat here saying that these 4 steps are completely easy and simple. You're just going to do it seamlessly. There are going to be challenges. But when you learn to love yourself, show yourself compassion, be empathetic, be understanding to yourself, it allows you to continue moving forward, practicing and integrating these steps on a daily basis. They become who you are. You've got to talk to yourself like a loving parent would, or a partner would, or your best friend would. Yep, that's what we have to do. If we can do that and not punish ourselves and not continue to suffer, these changes, these steps that we're doing become way more easier. Now, there's certain techniques that you may have come across before about how you can start to learn to love yourself a little bit better. One of them that I talk to my clients about is looking in the mirror, that mirror talk, yeah? Understanding that when we say to ourselves on a daily basis, it's me who has the key. I am well, I am successful, I am improving. Simple affirmations like that. You can say whatever it is that feels natural and works well for yourself. Whatever it is for you, you can do that affirmation on a daily basis. That's going to help you to start nurturing and developing a relationship with yourself. So learning to love yourself, showing yourself compassion, showing yourself that self-love, that's going to help you make these lasting changes as you go on your daily journey to improving your health and your well-being. So, are you ready to save yourself some suffering? Yeah, that's what we're talking about today. Save your suffering. 4 simple steps to start succeeding with your health. You can do it, guys. I'm here to remind you, because it's your birthright. Health and wellness is your birthright. It's not something that you have to attain through challenge, through toil, through listening to all the common information that's out there polluting the health and fitness space. It's your birthright. God, me, your family, your friends, we all want you to be your healthiest, best. But it starts by recognizing that you can put down the suffering, take these 4 real steps. And you'll start on that journey to enjoy more success when it comes to your health. So if we recap quickly, recognize where you are and take action. That's the first step. Secondly, we need to eat what works for us. Eat real food. Eat information. Eat and fuel our body in a way that works for us. Be active. Move your body every day because motion and movement is medicine. And love. Treat yourself with love and respect you deserve. You do deserve it. I'm here to remind you that you do deserve it. It's not about being perfect. You've heard me say that many, many times before. Yeah? It's all about progress and elevation. That's what we're here on the podcast to do. We're here to remind you that your fitness without the right frequency and consistency is flawed and foolish. And by understanding that, you will find freedom through the vehicle of fitness. It's about showing up every day. It's about becoming the best version of you, not just being fit to fit in. That's what a lot of us are doing now, what we see in the fitness space. We're doing this fitness to fit in with the trends and the clicks and the likes. It's not about that. It's about elevating, becoming a better person by understanding about raising your consciousness. We're trying to attain that Christ consciousness. You've heard me say that before. So, I've got a call to action for you. If today's episode has sparked something in you, don't just nod along. I often ask you and remind you to take notes. So listen and listen again. Take notes and take action on those notes. Start with just 1 step a day. Well, it could be step 1. It could be step 3. It could be step 4. It could be one of those 4 steps, but start by taking action on just 1 step. Don't be overwhelmed thinking you have to be doing all at the same time. Just focus on one of those steps. And if you're in a position where you think, you know what, I've heard a lot of information today that makes a lot of sense to me. And if you're ready to go deeper, you know where to find me. I'm going to leave a link in the show notes where you can arrange a time to have a chat with myself. And it might be the right time for you to join the Real Rejuvenation online coaching program, where I can support you and you can get back to looking and feeling your best, reclaim control of your health without spending long, boring hours in the gym and following fad diets. You're here this next stage of the chapter of your life, but what is it going to look like? That's the question I'm asking for you. What steps are you going to take next? I'm going to leave you with that question. So I trust you found today's episode insightful and uplifting. Remember to share this podcast with your connections in your community and forward it on to someone who you feel would be ready to take action, recognize responsibility, and stop them suffering in silence as they may be doing at the moment. So until next time, guys, remember, be well, be wise, be cool, be calm, and keep it real. Blessings and chi. Peace.